Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for the first time reviewing Love After Lockup. Actually, it's called Love During Lockup. I am learning. We are doing Love During Lockup. I'm learning a whole lot of things. I'm also learning that they keep their episodes running continuously. So actually, this is season 5, episode 24. No wonder I would never watch it. I always thought I was coming in on the middle of the season. Come to find out, episode 23 was the beginning of Love During Lockup. And now episode 24, it's just the second episode. So I had to catch up and I decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and do a review on another show that looks at some interesting relationships. And before we get started, y'all, don't forget to come on in and hit that like, that subscribe, and that share button. As I try to grow my channel even more, I'm trying to bring you guys some new content. I really can't do that many shows because, as y'all know, I got a full-time job. So this is what I do to have some fun with all y'all. This is what I do to have some fun. But I got my prison braids in. This is what I would look like if I was locked up. I did my twist this morning. I said, I ain't taking them out for this video. Because if these prisoners can wear some twists and braids, so can I. So I got my prison twist in right now. But we are going to look at this show and review it, recap it. Try to have a little fun. Try to talk about some stuff because I am learning a whole lot, y'all. Who knew it was this expensive to date somebody in prison? I knew the phone calls was expensive. I heard that. I heard the phone calls was expensive. I heard that you got to put money on their books. And I guess it's inflation in the prison system too because folks is getting heck of money getting sent to them. And then what I'm learning is that the most expensive prisoner to date is the one that's getting out. It's the one that's getting out because you got all these people setting up these people who are coming out with apartments and cars, buying them fake Louis Vuitton purses. What's that man's name? Joey. Not Joey. It's Andrew. Andrew over here buying Candace fake Louis Vuitton bags that break when you try to zip them up. What else? He buying her Valentino sandals. And she all in prison. He done set her up he has set this woman up in an apartment so when she gets out, she'll have somewhere to go. $1,400 a month for the apartment. He bought her a new truck. He said he's at least spent another $12,000 to $15,000. And he said he got another $180,000 in his 401k account. And he's willing to dip into that too and pay that penalty to withdraw that money early. He all the way in New Jersey. She gonna get released in Nevada, and I guess she gonna get released in Nevada, and then hopefully move to New Jersey. That girl ain't gonna move to New Jersey. She gonna have you paying everything for her. He already paying the rent. He got to pay all the utilities. He got to give her some spending money, and he got to grease her up with some gifts. And so it's gonna cost him at least to take care of Candace when she gets out. He's gonna end up spending at least a couple of $1,000s a month on her. What's she go in for? I think she went in for burglary. That's about right, because she sure is robbing Andrew. She said this is the best, she said this is probably the best job she ever had, robbing somebody. She said, why I need to be on the outside and rob somebody? I can just be sitting in prison and rob Andrew. And this is probably her biggest haul yet, and she ain't even got to go to jail for it. This is a crime you never have to go to jail for. This is a lot of money. I tell you what, if I was dating a person in prison, I would date a lifer. Because I see that when they get out, that's when they cost a whole lot of money. It's when they get out, that's when they cost a whole lot of money. But while they in prison, maybe you could just send them like $150 or $200 to be your pen pal. Because it's a fantasy life. It is a fantasy life. But Shante over there says she spent $30,000 on her prison bae. $30,000 in prison. What is he using that money for? He got $30,000 coming from Shante since he's been in. How the hell do you spend $30,000 in prison? He either taken that money and then sending that money to another woman, or he's buying something in prison, either to keep his life up so people don't mess with him in prison or something. I don't know what's going on. But these people need a strategy. Listen, if you're going to date somebody in prison, you need to have a strategy. This is what I tell you, get you a lifer, because they ain't going to never come out, and you ain't got to put them up in no apartment. And then just send them $150 a month. That's all you got to send them. And then you have you a pen pal. You have you a fantasy life. Because this show, Dating Somebody in Prison, what I realized is no different in a lot of ways from the show we watched over there called Never Ever Met. Because what's the difference? You in prison, I never met you. You on the phone, I haven't met you in 12 years. You might as well be in prison. What difference does it make? Because I thought there was restrictions to talking to these doggone prisoners. I thought you could only talk to prisoners. I thought they got one phone call a day, if that. I'm back in the old system. These prisoners got access to talk on the phone 2 and 3 times a day. They're like, okay, I'll talk to you later on this afternoon. I'll call you back. I'm like, what? They talking more to each other than I talk to my own doggone husband. And then you got Rob and Teeny, who are actually married, and this man has video cameras all in Teeny's house because he pays all the bills from prison. And she is a stay-at-home mom. She living the soft life. She got the soft life. So all these women out here are talking about, I want the soft life. I want the soft life. And they busy out here in the real world trying to get them a man who can afford to pay for the soft life. A man who's got to make all this money. Maybe what they need to do is get them a man like Teeny that's in prison that can pay your bills from prison. Because I don't know what Rob is doing up there in prison. He must be a prison boss. Because how the heck does he have access to cameras where he can watch every room in Teeny's house 24/7? He got a cell phone, and he's filming in prison. Is he really in prison? Are we being punked? Because this is wild. This is so wild. I did not know this kind of stuff went on in prison. And Rob said, you know what? They leave him alone. They let him do whatever he wants to do up there in prison because he's a shot caller. He said he lets him have a phone because whenever something needs to be called off and, things need to be settled down in the prison, he's the one that makes the phone calls. So he must got a lot of pull, not only in prison, but out of prison. He said he got a business with his brother on the outside. So I don't know how he could have a business. What kind of business is this? A business where you ain't got to be there. Woo, woo, woo. I tell you, Rob, he is the man. He is the man. He got Teeny. Teeny is very, very pretty. She's a stay-at-home mom. Her kids are gorgeous. Her kids seem like they're well behaved, well taken care of. And she said, I got the soft life, y'all. I got the soft life, and I didn't need no man out here with a 6-figure salary. And Rob is actually not the father of her children, but he has embraced her children. He loves her children. He takes care of her children. Her children call him daddy. I tell you, I am learning so much from this Love During Lockup. But I tell you right now, if you going down this journey to get you somebody you want to talk to in prison, get you a lifer, somebody that ain't never coming out. And then just send them $200 a month. That's all you got to send them. And then you can have a fantasy relationship. And you can be anybody you want to be. And they can be anybody they want to be. You got married couples out here like me and everybody else trying to find out how we spice it up. How are we going to spice it up? What role play we want to do. What kind of role playing? Well, here's a role play for you. A prisoner and a prison bae. A civilian and a prisoner. That could be your role play every day. And you can live a fantasy life. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we got introduced to this one lady. Her name is Shante. And she is now dating. Who's she dating? What is that prisoner's name she dating? I think this might be a case of some catfishing. True. His name is True. He been in there a long, long time. He 31. No, he 31 when he went in. And he's really buffed. He is really buffed. And he said he never seen Shante. And we seen Shante, and then they showed us the pictures that Shante sends to him. And we were like, uh-oh, I don't know. This looks like a little bit of catfishing. But they're going to see each other in person eventually pretty soon. But it won't matter, because as long as Shante keep that money coming, there ain't no way a True is not going to keep Shante on the hook. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. She's a sweet girl. Her nieces was trying to warn her, say, hey, auntie, don't let this man take advantage of you. But Shante is saying, you know what? You got to pay to play. You got to pay to play. And all of these people are living in a fantasy world. This is a fantasy world. When you can have a relationship with a person, but you never have to see them, and all you have to do is speak sweet words to each other all the time and talk about what could happen, what's gonna happen, but it never really has to happen. That's role playing. That's role playing. All you doing is playing a role. You're acting, and everybody can feel good. You know, just like that other show we watching over there, Never Ever Met. Relationships are hard. These shows are proving. Let me tell you something. Never Ever Met and Love During Lockup is actually proving how difficult relationships are. It's actually proving how difficult it is to get along with a person. Everybody wants to keep saying it's hard to find a person. And I keep saying, no, it's not. It's not hard to find anyone. There are so many people out here in the world. It's actually not hard to find someone. You know what's hard? What's hard is getting along with someone. Because I'm going to tell you this. The amount of money that Andrew is spending, Shante is spending, who else is spending money? Oh, we haven't talked about Ana. She's not spending no money. But the amount of money that these two are spending, you can't tell me that there wouldn't be a person on the outside in the real world that wouldn't want to also be the recipient of what Shante is giving to True and what Andrew is giving to Candace. You can't tell me. There is a woman, no matter what Andrew looks like, no matter what his quirks are, if Andrew was paying her rent, paying all her bills, giving her designer things, she would be with that man, right? She would be with that man. Same thing with Shante. She want to give somebody $30,000, lace them up with $30,000 in a couple of years. There will be a man out here who would be with Shante. So what I believe it is that's really stickler in relationships is getting along. It's getting along with people. People think it's all about attracting the right person. But these people are proving that the real problem isn't about attracting. The problem is about staying in a relationship and dealing with the day-to-day. And what these people have decided is, I really don't want to deal with the day-to-day of a relationship. I want a fantasy, and I'm willing to pay for it. I'm willing to pay for a fantasy life of a man who loves me, adores me, is faithful to me, says nothing but sweet things to me, and I'm willing to write a check for that, and vice versa for the men. Because if they were really loving on someone out here in the real world, the way they loving on these prison people, they could find a person. They absolutely could find a person. But I'm going to tell you, these storylines are really, really interesting. You know, I'm really starting to move away a little bit from the reality TV, the Housewives type series, because what I'm finding with the Housewives series is that they latch on to one thing at the very beginning of the season, and they kind of talk about that same thing through the whole season. That bores me. That bores me when we are talking about an argument somebody had in episode 1, and then we still talking about the same argument by the time we get to episode 12. It bores me. It doesn't progress. It doesn't move on. So I'm starting to move to shows where I feel as if there's an interesting storyline, that there's dynamics to the relationships, that these conversations that these people are having, the moments that they're going through, I have to find them interesting. That's why I told you guys I'm really not watching too much, what's the show, Martha's Vineyard anymore, because there really isn't any real storyline. If you watch that show, all they're doing is every other 5 seconds is another girl crying. It's almost like a room full of toddlers, and one baby starts crying, you soothe that baby, then there's another baby crying, but they're not really talking about nothing. They all don't like each other, right? I'm sick of watching shows where no one likes each other, no one's getting along. And so you don't really have any conversation because no one wants to talk to each other because they're so mad at each other. So now I'm moving over here to shows like Love, During Lockup, where these people really like each other. These people really like each other, and they having some interesting conversations, at least for now. And so we're going to roll with this and see how it goes. We got this one couple, Michael, and I call horny Joey because Joey is really using Michael, really using him as well. But Michael says he only sends Joey maybe $200 a month. So in terms of money, he's getting off a lot easier than some of these other people. And Michael is a recovering drug dealer, intent to deal. He's a career criminal. He said he got a body count in and out of prison that's really high. And Michael really likes being in prison because he said, you know what, on the outside world, it gets kind of boring because all you do is go to work, eat, come home and sleep and get up and go to work again. You're right about that, Michael. But in prison, what Michael is saying is I get free room and board. I get a man like Joey sending me money. I can still talk to you on the telephone. And in this prison system, as long as I'm willing to probably give up some sex in prison because he wants it also, he's probably protected. What's going on? He ain't got nothing to worry about. He volunteer. He might have him a boyfriend up in there who protects him because he's willing to do it anyway because he wants it. Michael is saying that I'd rather be in prison than to be out in the boring real world where you got to work, eat, sleep, and do it all again the next day. I know we out here trying to fix this prison system and recidivism. That word when everybody keeps going back to prison. You might want to look at people like Michael who don't have no problem going back. They don't have no problem going. They are he said he an addict, an alcoholic, a repeat offender. Joey out here in this episode, Joey's family was meeting Michael through the internet, the Zoom, the face chat, whatever you want to call it. And they all afraid. They really are afraid. And I don't know. People talk about, is drug addiction hereditary? I've read some things about it. For the most part, what I hear is it can be hereditary. It comes from a long line of addicts to alcohol, drugs. The father was an alcoholic. The brother was an alcoholic. The father said he lost his mother, I think, and his uncle to drugs and alcohol. So you have a whole list, a whole family full of people who've been addicts or lost their lives. But now the father and the brother have been sober for many of years, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, each of them. And then Michael finally got sober and he was on meth for a while. He got clean. So now they're concerned about him hooking up with me in prison because supposedly before he went back into prison the last time, fell off the wagon. After being 15 years clean and sober, fell off the wagon and he used again with me. So now we got where he's going to be coming out again. And the question they all have, are you going to fall back and, be tempted with Michael? Drug addicts shouldn't hang around drug addicts. That's what the mother says. Drug addicts shouldn't hang around other drug addicts. But then that made me start thinking like, okay, well, who would drug addicts be with? That means drug addicts should be with people who don't have a drug addiction. I don't know. And that tough too. So in one ways, drug addicts shouldn't be with drug addicts because it can make them relapse. I got that. But then on the other hand, I'm like, well, does that mean people who aren't drug addicts and who are sober should be with drug addicts? Isn't that tough on that person? So I don't know. I know that was that mother's position, I guess, because she feels like she helped save her husband. But that's a lot of pressure and weight on a person to try to save someone from drugs and alcohol. So I don't know, mama. I don't know. And now I guess they got some rule in there, like you can't come see a prisoner unless you knew the prisoner before they got locked up. I guess they don't want no fake relationships because I'm sure it's a big problem with prisoners meeting people on the outside and then, helping them do things they shouldn't be doing. So they're limiting prison visits to you had to have known the prisoner. There had to have been a relationship. So now, since Joey really didn't know Michael that long before he went to prison, I think only maybe he was on his way. He must have been going through trial, and next thing you know, he was in prison. Now he out here photoshopping a picture so that he could be go and see Michael. This is a mess. Joey, Michael got him a broke person on the outside, because Joey said, I can only send you $200 a month, because Joey himself is at home living with his parents. Joey himself can't even afford to live out on his own. So he said, I can send you $200. And now he going to Photoshop a picture to be able to go and see him. This is a hot mess, y'all. This is a hot mess. But Michael said his body count in prison is high. And Joey said, let me get over here and work out, so that way when he gets to go see Michael, maybe Michael will really, really like him. And he gonna like him as long as he's sending that money. He ain't gonna stop liking you. The body ain't the problem, Joey. The problem ain't, the body is not the problem. As long as you keep sending that money, Michael will love you. But this is completely a fantasy relationship. Completely. And the only way Michael and Joey are going to stay together when Michael gets out is if Joey can pay all the bills. And we know that can't happen because he's living at home with his parents. And more than likely, when Michael gets out, all he's going to do is use Joey for some more money. And then once that money runs out, more than likely Michael would decide he's just ready to go back to prison. Because it sounds like he's comfortable in prison. He's comfortable. I get to talk to you twice a day. I get 3 cots and a meal. I got a man on the outside and I got a man on the inside. Michael is good. Michael is living his best life in prison. Last week on the first episode, it was like a cliffhanger because we had the Rob and Teeny story, and Rob was saying he had a secret with Teeny. Y'all remember that, right? So I thought this week we were going to get to hear what the real secret was. But honestly, y'all, I know that they started talking about the fact that he wanted Teeny to make up with the mom, Rob's mom, because they fell out years ago. I guess this might even been when they first got married. But I don't think that's a secret. How is that a secret? It really isn't a secret. He didn't tell the secret. I think it's another secret that Rob got. And hopefully we're going to hear what the real secret is, because this week they kind of pretty much focus on Teeny meeting that mom. And all that mom was mad about was that now all the money that Rob has that he's making while he's in prison, most of it is going to Teeny to take care of her and the family and the kids. And now the mom feels as if she's been cut off. Normally we talking about the wife, the girlfriend is the gold digger, but this time I think the mama is. She said she over here struggling. She over here struggling, and Teeny over here living good. Look what you driving. I thought they was going to pay into some type of Land Rover, but Teeny got a modest car. She just got like a Chevrolet SUV, but she need an SUV to take care of the kids, but she a stay-at-home mom. She ain't working, and that mama is saying, send me some money too. Send me some money. But you know what? I do agree with that mama. Like when Rob gave her that $500, why he go back and ask for that money back? What did that mama do or say to Rob where he said, no, go get that damn money back? And then Teeny had to take the fall for it. He used Teeny to go give the mama the money and then told Teeny, you go back and you get it back and you go pick up that $500. And then the mama was mad because Teeny asked for the money back. But then when Teeny finally told her the real story and told her, no, it was Rob who asked for the money back, the mama said, well, it's still your fault because you should have told me the whole story. Teeny's like, I'm going to do what my husband says. I am not. He probably told her, don't you tell it was me. And Teeny says, I'm keeping my mouth shut because I ain't having my husband cut me off out here. I'm a stay-at-home mama. I'm going to do what my husband says. I ain't doing what you going to say, mama. I'm going to do what Rob says. And at the moment, Rob probably told her, don't tell her it was me. Rob is a shot caller. He is shot caller, like I said, on the inside and the outside. But they are, they call him the Watcher because he got cameras everywhere. He says they've been married for 4 years. And I was like, what he in prison for? And when they show his picture of when he was younger, when he first went in versus now, I was like, wow, he was in prison for 18 years, robbery with a firearm. I guess I need to get hip on these prison sentences. I was like, wow, he got 18 years for robbery with a firearm and concealing stolen property. He got 18 years for that. That's a lot of your life. He went in at 18 years old. Now he's 34, I believe. And he's already done 16 years. So he only got a couple of years left, and then he's going to be getting out, and he's going to be coming home. And I guess the question is going to be, will they be able to sustain their relationship once he gets home and he's at home? Because I'm quite sure after 18 years, the way he's running things inside the prison, what's he going to do? Come out? I guess he got a business. I don't know what he's going to be doing. I don't know enough about this prison life. I really don't know. I'm definitely outside of my comfort zone. I'm going to be learning. And y'all down in the comments, some of y'all may have some more experience with this. So I'm going to need y'all in the comments educating me on this, because I'm really wondering what Rob and Teeny's life is going to look like when he comes home. I hope he don't go back. I hope the business he got out here, I hope it's a legitimate business. I hope it ain't no business where it's some shenanigans and he ends up back in there. But they be seeing Rob and Teeny talk to each other more than I feel like even me and my husband talk. They work out in the morning together. She says she'd be asleep. She'll wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, tossing and turning. He'd be up watching the cameras, looking at her, talking about, I see you tossing and turning. He watched everything going on in that house. He got his own reality TV show. He got his own reality TV show going on. This is wild. This is wild. Teeny said, some people get an occasional phone call, but Teeny says, we talk all day long, 24 hours, 7 days a week. She got a fantasy life too, because she ain't got to deal with him in the house. He can see her. He can watch her, but she know where to go, so he can't see her. And wow. Just wow, y'all. But maybe next week we'll hear what this secret is that Rob got for Teeny, because I really want to know what the secret is. I don't believe the secret was the whole thing about meeting the mom. He's going to be coming home soon. He wants his mom and Teeny to make up. So he sent them to lunch and said, hey, try to make up. And Teeny's mom, not Teeny, Rob's mom is still just so mad over asking for the $500 back. But I don't even think she gave it back. I think she was just mad because he asked for it back. But did she even pick it up and get it back? If I was that mom, I'd been like, I spent that money already. I wouldn't have given it back. You gave your mama some money. I would have said, I spent it already. But the couple, Shante and True, Shante is like 35. She's a restaurant manager. I guess she can cook real good. And I guess in prison, maybe True works in the kitchen too. And he said he can cook real good too. And so, they talk about that when he gets out, he got 4 weeks left or something. He comes home, and they talk about they maybe gonna open up a restaurant together. Shante has moved. She had a house, I think in Kansas or somewhere. This girl has put her house up for sale, and she has moved to she moved from Missouri to Kansas. I think that's what it was, or is it Kansas to Missouri? Anyway, wherever he is in prison, that's where she moved. Because when he gets out of prison, he got to stay nearby. He can't leave the state. She was in another state. So now what she's doing is she got her house up for sale. And then she moved to another state where she got another house there. So now she's paying 2 mortgages so that when True comes out, they'll be able to be together. And he said when he gets out, he want to have sex straight 7 days a week. You're going to be put to work, Shante. It ain't going to be easy no more when you get out. You're going to be paying the bills. You're going to be cleaning. You're going to be cooking. And you're going to be having to have sex 7 days a week. It sounds good in the beginning, Shante. In the beginning, it sounds good because you probably ain't had enough for a while. But wait until it starts happening. You got to... Girl, that's probably when it's gonna all fall apart. Cause she gonna be like, how I got time to be having sex 7 days a week, several times throughout the day, and I still gotta go to work and provide for you and cook and clean for you. Shante gonna be worn the hell out. But True said he likes Shante because Shante calms him down. Oh no. I hope he ain't got no temper. I hope he ain't calm him down. What the hell? But they said they gonna open up a restaurant together, have a business together when they get out. I hope they make that happen. And then she dropped another little bomb on us and told us True has never ever dated a black girl. True has always only dated non-black girls. Didn't say what he did. He said he thought black girls was too ratchet and too ghetto. He all the way in prison talking about black girls are too ratchet and too ghetto. What is society coming to when people in prison doing 12 and 13 years are calling you, the civilians, too ratchet and ghetto? Then what the hell are you? This is funny, but they not just dating, they are engaged. They are engaged because True proposed to her while he was in prison. He had Shantae's like 16-year-old son get down on one knee and show her the ring and all this other kind of stuff. Like I said, these prisoners got a whole lot of money. So I guess Shante sent him the money because she doesn't spend over $30,000. Then he bought a ring with her money and then had the son propose to her. I tell you, why do a crime and for money when you got people like Shante and Andrew giving you all the money you need? We'll see. He got 4 more weeks. I hope this is love. When this says it's love during lockup, all you people who watch this, will we get to see it when they come home? Or is the filming only going to be when they're in prison? Will we get to see these couples when these people get out? Because some of these people's getting out real soon. And what I want to know is, do we get to see them after they get out? Or is that called love after lockup? But I want to see these people when they get out. I don't want to just see them in prison. I want to see True when he gets out of prison. And I want to see how he and Shante work out. I want to see love after lockup, but I want to see it with these people. Will we get to see that? Tell me, all you people who watch this show regularly, I need to know. And the last couple is Jamal and Ana. And I want to tell y'all, I left them for last because my heart just is breaking for Ana. And my heart is breaking for her because she is it's like a cycle, a hamster wheel she can't get off of. And I see it. I see the stress. I see the parts of it that she causes the problem with her own self. And I see this cycle that she's got going here. Jamal is the only one we haven't seen like video of him. So I don't know what Jamal has done where he can't be on camera. Everybody else has been able to be on camera. The prison has allowed them to be on camera. But the only person we only get are pictures of Jamal. So I don't know what he's done. He is in prison for drug trafficking. That's what he's in prison for. Drug trafficking. And yeah, I don't think he's getting out no time soon. Maybe that's why they're not taking no cameras in there to see him. Or I don't know. I don't know what he's done. Because he don't seem like he got the same access to talk on the phone as regularly, and he ain't got no access to talk on the camera. So right now, a lot of the storyline is mainly on Ana, and that's okay because her storyline is actually pretty interesting. So Ana is the stripper, been stripping for a while. She says she's making over $600 a day. But then I see where she's living. I'm thinking that don't look like $600 a day, but okay, I don't know where her money is going at $600 a day. That's a lot of money. And she's been stripping a long time and she's tired. She want to stop stripping. But as a lot of strippers, where can you go and make that kind of money? Once you get used to that kind of money at $600 a day, where are you going to go to make $600 a day? So she's stuck there. She can't get off that hamster wheel. But she's miserable. She's miserable. And she got a lot of pressure on her because she got 2 kids. And so what does she do to relax? She smoke weed. She smoke weed and she drinks. And that's what she does to relax, because I'm sure, like a lot of strippers use other types of things to relax and take their mind off of being on the pole all the time and bring me your money, daddy. And so then next thing you know, she got caught with a DUI, being high and driving. So next thing you know, she over here got her own problems going on, where she might go to jail for, 15, 20 days because she's a repeat offender. This is her second DUI or something like that. And she worried about her kids. And how can she go to prison? Because now she ain't going to be making $600 a day. And she going to be in jail. And she on a hamster wheel with that too. So now she got a public defender. How the hell can you have a public defender and you making $600 a day? That's definitely money she ain't reporting. She better hope the IRS don't come after her. That's what she better hope for too. But she got wrapped up with Jamal because Jamal was the boyfriend of an ex-best friend. Of course it's going to be your ex-best friend when you start sleeping with her man. So I think Yana might make a lot of bad decisions. And this is where she is. But even with all her bad decisions, I felt bad for her. So they ordered her to go to anger management classes because she said, well, I just don't, it's not that I have anger management. I just got a bad attitude. Because she probably depressed. She is depressed. But another thing that freaked me out, y'all, was the white lady who was the social worker who was helping her with the anger management classes. Iyanna went to her house for the session. What? Is this how they do it in these other states, where when you need an anger management class, you actually go to the house of the social worker? So social workers got people with anger management classes coming to their personal home and knowing where they live? Ain't no way I would do that. What if them people with anger management get angry with you and want to come back and now they know where you live? That was just wild to me. Just wild. So now Iyanna, she was talking about how she's all scared because, now if she goes to jail, she can't talk to Jamal because two prisoners can't talk to each other from from the jail system. So she talking about, well, maybe we could do a 3-way. But if they find out, everybody can get in trouble. No prisoner better call me and ask me to set up no 3-way phone call. Can you do a 3-way so I can break the law? No, call somebody else. I'm not doing that. Iyanna says she thinks she got all this anger management because she grew up with nobody to protect her, so she had to fight all her life. She says she is a broken girl. She is a broken girl. And I think the reason why I really felt for Iyanna, because I felt like, I really don't know how she gonna get out of this cycle. Because in a lot of ways you can say, hey, just turn it around, quit stripping, get you another real job, which is true. But I think what she fears about is how I'm gonna take care of these 2 kids. But people do it all the time. People take care of 2 kids without stripping. And she seemed like she's a smart girl, so she could do something. But she's on a dangerous cycle. And she don't know how to get out this life, y'all. She don't know how to get out. But when she was talking about she feels so suffocated, she can't breathe, she feels so much pressure. I can believe it. That's a lot of pressure, having that as your career, having to raise 2 kids with no one around. And what she says she's waiting on is, she says she's ready for Jamal to come out so that she can get some relief. Somebody there to help her. I don't know if Jamal gonna be too much help for her. That's why I said this is a fantasy. The fantasy is when Jamal gets out, he's gonna take a lot of this pressure off of me. But girl, he's gonna be coming out of prison. How is he gonna be able to take pressure off of you? People coming out of prison a lot of times need you to help them. So that's just another fantasy as well. Like everybody else, when I talk about these fantasies, they're paying this money to these prisoners because it's the fantasy of the relationship. I think Iyanna's fantasy is not so much that she's sending Jamal money, but her fantasy is that when he comes out, he's going to be her knight in shining armor. See, this idea of what's keeping these people in relationships with these prisoners, a lot of it is a fantasy, right? Teeny's fantasy probably is just going to keep going because she's already living her fantasy. She's living her soft life. Iyanna's fantasy is, this is going to be the man that comes home and rescues me. He's going to be the daddy I never had. He's going to take care of everything. And all I got to do is hold on. And when he gets out, all my pressure is going to be relieved. But I don't think it is. I don't think it is. So she is bursting at the seams. She got a lot going on. And hopefully the social worker will be able to help her, because I can tell that she's about to fall apart. She is really, really about to fall apart. But that's it, y'all. I'm going to get my little rhythm together for reviewing this show as we go along. But so far, I'm finding the storylines interesting. So I will keep it up, reviewing it. But let me know. Like I said, I had some questions down there about the prison system, how it really works, how this season is going to go along. Will they eventually meet each other on camera? Will we get to see it? So all you professionals down there, you people that have been watching it for a long time and know the ins and outs of the series, please let me know. Educate me. Auntie Deborah needs some knowledge here. But that's it, y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye.